First and foremost, I want to thank you, Kings, for picking up this book. I wanted to give you guys somewhat of an infrastructure because I noticed from coaching men and women from all over the world over the years, there are a lot of men who don't have it. One thing I've learned to teach myself nowadays is not to think that everyone knows what I know. It's a habit we try not to do, but it's kind of hard not to think of others the way you think of yourself. If you are a wise person, know that everyone is not going to be kind or have positive intent. It's easier said than done, but until life happens to you, it really won't resonate. A lot of lessons that I've been through throughout the years have been things that people have actually told me, but my ego told myself that I had to go through it. He didn't know what he was talking about. That only applies to him. I thought this way for a long time. Actually, I know a lot of you guys reading this are having this exact same thought as I once did. AFI doesn't know what he's talking about. He's an OG. Things are different now. So I completely understand where you younger guys are coming from. Trust and believe, though, there will be a time where everything that you hear will be applicable later on down in your life. The reason why I wanted to talk about putting yourself first, well, it's because it's the first and most imperative thing on the list. I feel like a lot of these talking points in the chapters of the commandments can and are subjective, due to one's personality and principles. Saying that, I feel like putting yourself first is one that goes above everything else, just as putting yourself in real time does. The one key gem cannot be negotiated for or compromised. I think people say this as it's just a catchy phrase that makes people feel good. I agree, it does make you feel good when you have positive energy and focus on positive things. A lot of people are losers in life, or at least not where they should be. That's because they put others before them. There's nothing wrong with doing selfless acts. But a lot of time, people put other people before them because they truly do not value themselves. This can be on a conscious or a subconscious level, because one person in a relationship decided to put one person's needs over their own. They did this because they wanted a certain outcome that they didn't receive. Anytime you have expectations in something, just be prepared to be let down. This goes for your family, acquaintances, people at work, even your best friend. My love language is kind gestures. But I also don't live life expecting to get gestures from people. It's always an added bonus, but never an expectation. That's why I'm able to feel the total joy of these gestures, because it's not really expected most of the time. Often they come at times where I may really need the positive energy or gesture. And the person who's giving this to me had no idea, making it more of a benefit. The benefit of putting yourself first is to find out exactly what your purpose is in life. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies, because I recently heard him say this. And when I heard him say it, this talking point resonated with me. I made the same mistake as he stated, as getting my purpose and my grind mixed up. Me going on monk mode, saving up all my dough, grinding, not getting a haircut, not dealing with women, not having sex. I thought this was all part of my purpose, which in essence still is. Like I heard him say in the interview, it's not your purpose if you don't enjoy doing it. So what I just aforementioned was the grind mode hustle. We all need it. We all want it. And we are required, need to do it in order to be successful. All that being said, it's still not your purpose. I think a lot of people live through life, not even understanding what purpose is or their purpose in life in general. Let me give you some background information. I was not always on my purpose or even understood the concept. My changing point is when I read Purpose-Driven Life by Richard Warren. Shout out to my special friend who put me onto this book. However, it's not always the information that you receive, it's the timing of it. At this time, I was having some financial issues, if I can remember. In between jobs, and even was abusing pills at the time. I had gotten into an injury at work, and seeing how easy it was to forget the pain by popping pills, until I reached a point when I feel like I lost control. At that moment, I re-evaluated myself, realigned my principles, and got around the people I needed to push me out of my darkness, forward, back into the light. Living with purpose gives you something that you can value, something you can look forward to. It's something that you know the more you work. The more you pour into it is the only investment that you can actually get something back. There's no possible way you can pour into yourself your goals, your vision, imagining the best version of yourself, and find out a structured plan, and work towards that day in and night out, and not prosper. Open up your mind to new conclusions. Even myself, I learned as of recent times that you never have it all the way figured out. You can think you have the structure of your life, and then boom, life happens to you. All life is as decisions, good and bad. One One of my favorite movies is The Butterfly Effect. This movie shows how one instance that you can change is what changes everything else in your life. Days that you didn't feel like giving up were the days you maybe were destined to win the lottery. It may be that very day where you decide to sit around the house, drink beer, and smoke weed. But your soulmate was out there wandering the streets looking for you. That's how life happens. You never really know what and why things happened until later. I feel like that's the cool, yet most uncool part about life. A lot of people spend too much time living in their past, not being able to focus and invest in their futures. This is why people fail. It's okay to look back at the time when you did this or that, reminisce, but some people live in their past and have no existence in the present. I learned years ago that you could change your life in one day. Just one day, you can change your whole life. There's plenty of times where you may have thought of doing something, but there's that one time when you say, you know what, I'm going to do it today. That can be getting a job, losing weight, learning a different language, whatever it is. There's that, you know what I'm going to do moment. Let this be the moment where you put yourself first. A lot of people just wander aimlessly through life with no purpose, just existing. Kind of like a robot. The only difference is that you have feelings, emotions, and touch. But stuck in the rat race and have nothing looking forward to you and your vision. Nothing going on in your life. Nothing to be happy, brag about, even be proud of. This is a symptom that you're not putting yourself first. This is what happens when you don't get the best out of life, but life gets the best out of you. Put yourself first. A lot of people in dating want women to get their program, but they don't know what the program is. So how can you be a leader or a director when you don't even know what movie you're trying to film? You don't know the genre, the movie score, or the narrative of the characters. Look at the people around you. Do they have a purpose? It's not always about someone doing something for you, but positive energy pushes you, as well as positive people who know your personality and know how to make your mind tick. These are the people that you want around you, sharing knowledge with and encouraging each other's endeavors. Remember to have your own. Don't sit around trying to ride someone else's cocktails or cloud chase. Have something of substance that you can also offer someone. The most attractive ideas are built around exchanges. No one wants to give without receiving. On the contrary, you don't actually have to give to receive, at least tangible items. Know that you need to have value and be adding value to any situation, circumstance, or environment that you're in. The benefits of putting yourself first and figuring out exactly what your purpose is. The ability to say no. There's one thing just going through your life figuring it out. Once you figure out your purpose and understand what your passions are and what you enjoy doing, everything around that is not greed towards that becomes a burden. Putting yourself first gives you the power of saying no. Even in the art of negotiation, the ability to say no and mean it is more powerful than whatever offer you had or willing to put on the table. The art of saying no gives you the ability to be at a stance that can't be shifted, to be compromised or shaking. When you say no, you mean it, and you can take it and walk away and have a good sleep at night. When you negotiate from this level, people tend not to try and make you the compromise because they can tell from the look at your eyes and your demeanor and your assertiveness that you mean what you say. It's like coming across someone who may be super passionate about something that you may not be that passionate about. For example, if you want to argue with me about football, well, I don't watch football. I know that may be crazy for a dude, but I'm not of an NBA guy. The point is, I'm not passionate about what you're passionate about. So my ego will let you win the argument. Some people